Well, Rita and James, a week to go till hopefully Daniel Andrews gets punted out of Victoria. Even better would be if Labor got punted out. But let's start with Daniel Andrews. We're going to be speaking to Ian Cook later in the show. He's the guy who's standing against Daniel Andrews in his own electorate. If you know anybody who's not watching Outsiders right now, phone them, get them to watch, particularly if they're in Victoria, in that electorate where Dan Andrews is. We need everybody to vote for Ian Cook to get rid of Dan Andrews. That's just my humble opinion, Rita. Do you think Ian Cook can do it?
Well, I went out to Mulgrave. I went to an early polling station and spoke to some locals, and there was a lot of anti-Dan sentiment there, I've got to say. But then there was also about 30 to 40% of people who didn't tell you what they were thinking. A lot of them said no English, don't speak English. So it's hard to get a full picture of what that electorate's thinking. It's certainly been a very safe Labor seat. I think he won it by 63% last time, two-party preferred, around 55% of the primary vote. I don't think he's going to get anything like those margins this time, personally, in Mulgrave. And Ian Cook's having a real impact. But you do worry those who are fairly apathetic, aren't paying any attention to politics, whether they're familiar with Ian Cook's story. Because his story is outrageous. What was done to him, his family, his company, his employees, it is something that should shame all Victoria.
And this is why everybody must be watching later this morning when Ian Cook is here, very shortly after Rita's reality check. Because, as Rita says, he is the personification of everything that is wrong with the corrupt Labor government in Victoria. It is a disgusting story. You must watch it. And this is why Ian Cook must be voted in to show Dan Andrews and all Australian politicians that this sort of corruption and carrying on will not be tolerated, James.
Well, it shouldn't be tolerated, but, you know, you have to wonder, will it be tolerated? And what are the results going to be next Saturday? And you know, and look, it's great to, go hard on the Andrews government, point out all of his failings all the way down the line, not just COVID, not just Sluggate, not just meeting with preference whisperers like Glenn Drury, not just, all of these things. But the fact of the matter is there's no real effective opposition. I mean, like Matthew Guy, I think, has just provided this week, more and more examples of why he is not cutting through. This whole thing where they're not letting a conservative Christian sit in the party room if they get up because they've got the wrong beliefs.